First of all, thank you very much for providing us a great opportunity to make such great seminar that will make a presentation today for JBIC. I'm Hiroki Suzuki from I'm the director of the Division 1 covering the railroad project from the Social Infrastructure Finance Department of the Japan Bank for International Cooperation. Today, I'd like to make a brief explanation of the JBIC's financing of railroad project, more focusing on the UK project. This page shows a brief overview of the JBIC. JBIC is a policy-based finance institution. It's fully owned by the Japanese government. While the management of the JBIC is independently from the government, but the general operation strategy is in accordance with the government's policy. We have the overseas representative offices, 16 offices all over the world. And in case of the UK, we have the regional headquarters in London. Currently, the total asset is more than 160 billion US dollar. It is one of the biggest export credit agency in the world. This page shows the brief explanation of the JBIC operations. We have 4 missions. The one is securing the natural resources, like oil and gas and mining project. The second one is support the business development overseas. The third one is preserving the global environment. The final one is support the financial crisis, in case of the financial crisis. Based on this mission, we have various kind of financing tools, basically the loans. And in addition to the loan, we have also the function of the guarantee, equity participation, and the securitization. Among the loans, we have 4 types of products. The one major product is export loan. It is a support for the Japanese companies' export. Or in some cases, if Japanese company has a subsidiary in the overseas, we also have the support. We also support the these companies' equipment selling in third countries. The second one is the import loan. It is more focusing on the securing the natural resources. The third one is overseas investment loan. It's a support for the business development overseas by the Japanese companies. The third one is untied loan. Now, currently, in case of we utilize such kind of untied loan, we are focusing on the preserving global environment. This page shows the brief explanation of our existing project. The blue one is the overseas investment loans. The red one is the export loan. As you can see, in case of the developing countries, the project is organized by the public entity. So we provide a finance for the sovereign basis or state-owned companies. So because of this, we normally provide export loans. But in case of the developed countries like UK, such kind of project is organized by as a PPP project. So in case of that, if the Japanese companies is one of the involved in as a sponsors, we provide overseas investment loans. So this page shows a brief explanation of the export loan. Normally, we provide a loan to the buyers. Because of this, we call it the buyer's credit. If the Japanese company or its affiliate supply the machineries and equipment to the buyers, we provide a loan to the buyers. So we take the credit of the buyers. Normally, we provide a loan co-finance with commercial banks. In case of the export loan, normally commercial bank is backed by the insurance from the NEXI. NEXI is another Japanese export credit agency. Together with NEXI, JB supports the Japanese companies' export overseas. This page shows the brief explanation of the overseas investment loan. Normally, it is common currently that Japanese investors or sponsors create a consortium with a local company and to create a joint venture in a third company. This chart shows the example of the UK. For example, in the UK, if the Japanese investors create a consortium with the UK investors and other foreign investors, we can provide the finance for the joint venture company in UK together with the commercial banks. In some cases, in this case, we co-finance with a NEXI-backed financing, and also in some cases, we provide the financing with multilateral development banks. In case of UK, we have the co-finance with the European Investment Bank. So this page indicates our experience in UK IEP program. And the project overview is that the project is UK DOT initiative to replace older train on the GWML and the East Coast Main Line with new trains under the PPP arrangement. And Agility trains, it is sponsored, majorly sponsored by the Hitachi, was awarded £5.7 billion IP contract in July 2012. 2012 is under the pressure in the environment of the financial crisis. But to mobilize private money, JBIC played a catalyst role in that cases. And a total of 866 carriages being manufactured, 369 for the GWML and 495 for ECML. The East Coast is a blue line, and the red line is a Great Western Line. The rail route is 640 kilometers between London and Glasgow for GWML, 970 kilometers between London and Edinburgh. This is a brief explanation of the JBIC finance for IEP. The finance itself is separately between the GWML and the ECML, but generally speaking, the financing scheme is very similar. In both cases, Hitachi is a major sponsor, and also they provide as equipment as a supplier. The loan amount is totally, in each case, is about £2 billion. And we played major lenders for both projects. The loan period is about 30 years. This is a financing chart of the GWML. It is very complicated, but as already Mr. Thompson explained clearly, you may be familiar with already this kind of chart. But I explain a little bit about the key point of this financing scheme. The one point is availability payment. This means if the Agility trains, our borrower provides its service, Agility trains get a fixed service fee from the operation companies. Even if the fair revenue is declined, this level of the availability payment is fixed. We call it's a bankable project. Another point is usage guarantee from the UK government. So it is mentioned briefly about what does mean the usage guarantee in the below box. But basically speaking, in case of the operation company is defaulted, it is lenders or it is secured, but even in case of the default of the operation companies, Network A and backed by the UK government will provide the support for the payment of the availability payment. With these kind of the backup mechanism, we found that this scheme is a bankable project. This is project schedule of the GWML. As you can see, last month, October 2017, the first train accepted and operation started. And we expect that next year, the last train to be accepted. And from 2019, the first repayment will be started. And this page shows a major risk of the railroad project in case of the PPP project. There's a couple of major tasks such as procurement, train system, operation, maintenance, and the railway infrastructure. For each task and criteria, there are major risks such as operation risk, ridership risk. Ridership risk means demand fluctuation risk. And the environmental risk, interface risks, force majeure, construction, political, interest rate, inflation, and in case of the infrastructure side, land acquisition, environmental construction risk. To prepare the project finance or the PPP project, the allocation of the risk, this kind of risk for each stakeholder is a key component. In some cases, especially in case of the developing countries, some people misunderstand that the PPP means the private-private partnership, but the most important thing is how the risk allocated between the public and the private. So this shows the risk allocation between the public and the private in case of the IP project. The pink box is allocated for the private side, and the yellow box is allocated for the public side. As you can see, the ridership risk, force majeure, political inflation, environmental risk has to be allocated by for the public side. And the infrastructure side has to be majorly prepared by the government. So we believe this kind of allocation is a role model for the PPP project in the world. So we have many opportunities to discuss the PPP project in the developing countries, but utilizing this example, we are educating right now for the developing countries. And now also we understand that the UK government has a HS2 project, and we understand that still the financing is out of scope in the course of the bidding process. But in case of the UK government has a budgetary problem, we are very happy to consider the project financing for the HSC project if the Hitachi is participated in the project. I believe the next presenter, Mr. Ito from Hitachi, will be explaining such kind of issue, more detail about it. Thank you very much.